let me just point out that we have all done we have done God's work today because we've formed a minion, and I'm always preaching to people off of Clown House, like, don't fuck. I'm always saying, bro, you don't even have a minion. But I can tell you this, we have a minion, and I've never been in a minion, but my point is, like, we have achieved a state of equilibrium, of harmony, and basically decorum right now at this very moment, which is important, and it is an important thing to note. So, Riboy Noi Shalom.
Yeah. There's a lot we can learn from the guy, as much as perhaps we are annoyed, but there's so much depth there. When he presses our buttons, we have the choice to respond in whatever way we want to respond, and we decide to respond with love.
Listen, I have a...
Also, this protest room
most respond is indifference and mild curiosity.
This protest room is a proof that people actually rather continued with the conversation than pay attention to the nonsense. So, of like just complaining about Edmund.
Maybe that shows you how intriguing your accent is.
Well, that, or that people are actually smart and they don't care about the stupid drama, and we just continue.
Yeah, I think my bet was more likely than your bet.
Well, I want to believe that people are smart. My accent has nothing to do with it. Anyway.
John Kittelberg is literally one of the biggest real estate agents in the world.
Who is?
In the world?
Yes.
Whose world?
His way.
Listen, I could be at my sailboat right now, going to the playpen.
Do it.
Listen, forming a minion here and gaslighting you subversively into knowing that you've been recorded for years, and it's actually not Clown House that did it, but some individual user for fucking 5 years has laboriously cataloged and created. Oh no, it's getting close to 5. My point is that I have tens of thousands of videos of everyone here acting the fool, and it's actually me.
You said you didn't save it. You just have it streamed, so you do have them saved.
Oh yeah. No, actually, let me hold on.
He's not that crazy.
Hold on. Let me one up it. I have actually hired a secretary, and she has begun downloading all the thousands of videos and putting them on terabytes. I will be selling external terabytes of everyone on Clown House on eBay for everyone on Clown House to purchase if they want to purchase the library archive of Clown House. And I want to thank you all, because without your participation, whether you knew it or not, you never would have been able to get into my Netflix corporation, aka Riboy Noi Shalom Incorporated.
One question. Does it at all resonate to you compiling records of forgotten, worthless conversations? Does any of that ring a bell in terms of the ashes your family has been keeping track of?
Actually, I view
Just
this.
Wondering if it resonates.
See this. I actually view this as Seinfeld or Curb Your Enthusiasm. I moved to Los Angeles because I am an acolyte of Larry David.
You do that too.
No, I believe that what Larry David did was he just started recording himself in LA, and he's like, this is a television show. This is funny. My life is good. I'm trying to duplicate what Larry David did off of the backs of all of you. So thank you all so much.
I think maybe you should look into his biography. He didn't just wake up in his underwear one day and decide to start recording himself. It was elaborate. He worked in comedy. He did find that people laughed when he said whatever he said, but he had to find a way to market it. He didn't just record himself and say mission accomplished.
But I think that he didn't do that just because of the time he was born. I mean, if he had been born now with all the social media and stuff, do you really think that he wouldn't have taken advantage of it?
That's right. I'm LD 2.0.
He edits it.
I don't need to edit it. That's somebody else's job. I need to get the raw footage.
Hold on. Because he's got the means now. He's fucking famous, He's rich.
Absolutely.
He can produce something of quality, but if he hadn't, he would take his phones and he would just go out there and he would make it hilarious.
The difference between all
you honestly don't see the similarity between him and Larry David.
If you have no processing, no editing, you have no creativity.
Michael, you need to be watching the likeness of him haven't seen it all.
I have been twice.
He's an entertainment genius. Look how long
No,
we've been
he's
captivated by him.
crazy.
An hour or more. No, he's not.
Yes,
Yeah, like a
he's
fox.
crazy and has way too much time on his hands.
No.
Oh, like you, right?
Projecting, I'm projecting and 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 projecting.
And projecting.
Listen, Daniel Nero is actually my number one. God, Daniel, I love you. I don't know you well enough, but the fact that Darth Dawkins, like, I heard Darth Dawkins, like, shit on you so hard one day, I was like, this must be a great man.
And projecting. And project. Anyway, no, I do, honestly, if you can't see the similarities between, like, early Larry David and John, you don't see the likeness. It's just you're
That's
you're
dangerous.
blind.
That you're comparing Edmund to Larry David
Or young Larry
out
David.
loud. That is very
Young
dangerous. I mean, don't tell him he's like that because that will put him in another level now.
Well, I said young Larry David. I mean, maybe he won't have quite the success that Larry David will have, but he'll have a large amount of success, and I think he's already successful. He's one of the greatest entrepreneurs. He's one of the greatest philanthropists of our time, and aspires to be. He's doing this to help people.
Listen,
Thanks, Dan.
I gotta tell you, when I lived in LA, I used to work for these two Orthodox Jews, and they made about $250 million in the course of about 3 years. They fled the country and moved to Sydney. My other friend who was involved in the scam, and this is all,
How'd they make the money?
okay, they did it through what's known as aggregate billing, or basically billing your cell phone $9.99 a month or $15.99 a month through the carriers. And the attorney generals in California settled like a $2 billion lawsuit with Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, all the major telecoms, and it was all because they were basically submitting random number generation billing, and they just stopped with all the marketing, and they're like, let's just scam the telecoms. So my point is, I know people that have made tremendous fortunes, but you still got all the minutia and other difficulties of life. My point is, I do believe that what I have done with Clown House and all these cell phones and recording myself, I hope to God one day, like, it can become some type of a commercial success, because it will be a great coup d'etat for the poverty that I live in compared to the people that I know that are so rich and they're living lives with hundreds of millions of dollars, and I participated in their scams, but I didn't get any of the money, but they're super rich.
What about royalties of the voices and faces you've used?
Listen, do you think I'm really that much of a prick that if I ever made money from any of this, I wouldn't fucking say, okay, move out to the Hollywood Hills. Like, now we can do bigger things, better things. Like, I want to be Mr. Beast. Just go to Mr.
Yes,
Beast YouTube.
I think you are that much of a prick, actually.
Projecting and projecting.
And projecting and projecting and projecting.
Mr. Beast actually studied YouTube.
I know, I've seen the videos. My point is, I'm in basically manic mode where I have to record as much as possible because this could come to an end.
For that.
Okay, I get it, but my point is, I'm a functioning manic, and what I'm trying to tell you is that I'm not always manic, and I'm not really all that depressed, but what I'm trying to tell you is thank you all for participating involuntarily in my manic episode of filming myself and doing psychedelic research and studying basically esoteric psychology and doing Gnostic work. So, Riboinoi Shaloilan.
No, absolutely. And what's happening, a lot of people don't realize, is that, look, this is crude oil. So what he does is he's filling up these reservoirs of this crude oil in these conversations. And then he's just going to end up dispersing it to the highest bidder so they can refine it into something like gasoline. Nobody quite sees the genius of it yet, but trust me, when this ends...
I'm trying to do the same thing that the Clown House founders are doing,
Joe,
but...
am I wrong?
No, I'm doing the same thing that Joe and the other founder is doing, is they're building a reservoir of data, but they already fucked themselves. And the fact that Well, anyways, they have a huge library and catalog. Many of my accounts I can't get into anymore, but God Hypnosis as well as Audio Teachers were huge accounts in terms of the amount of data and years that I spent reading books and doing tarot card readings and shit like that. If any of you are concerned about me having you in my basically hidden library, you should be like, they got me. They got me real good. Like I am a big user on this app, and my point is that there is something about recording, first of all, which is very unique in terms of technological history and innovation. So you may be angry with me, but know that like I'm gonna die and you're gonna die, and what I have done in many ways will immortalize you. So at least be a little considerate and a little bit compassionate, and have some grace.
My issue is
Go
not with
to.
you. I'm John talking now. My issue was not with you very early into the conversation because you made it very clear. There's always going to be someone there in the world, like they pointed out to me, that is not going to respect your rights. And that's kind of, could be scary or not. What's more scary is when the whole room, and if that was an analogy to society, don't even know their own rights. Where someone like Republican will go and violate them, and you cannot rely on them to be there with you. That is scarier than what anything Republican is doing. So that's what I'm going to leave this room with that. People, know your rights, know your boundaries, know your values, and don't let someone violate that without you even knowing that. Whether you respect it or not, choice, but at least know what you have coming through. At least know who you
Yeah,
are.
but stop thinking and end your problems. The more you speak, the further from the truth you get, Eitan. That's my point, is in the Gnostic work, or essentially in the superconscious, I am listening and you are speaking, but what you're saying is really me speaking, and you see what I'm saying is this
I
app.
understand your logic. I'm trying to understand the rest of the room's logic.
I know, but what you don't understand, Eitan, what you don't understand is you are still not emotionally equilibrated. Why is that?
Right. No, that's not your place. You're not a therapist. It's not a polite thing to do in front of her. You want to be a friend, you can go in a private room and
No,
talk
but
to me there.
no. Hold on a second. Don't get agitated. What I'm trying to say is this topic
I'm
for.
not agitated. I don't
You just come on, listen to yourself. I'm not agitated. Listen to yourself.
You're a funny guy. I'm going to run to synagogue right now, and I had a lot of fun with you. It's great. And we're gonna
Yeah,
go
thanks,
out.
Eitan. I love you too. God bless. Take care.
I will take every book recommendation that you make, but all I wanted to say was one thing, and I said it already, so Chag Sameach to everybody. And Rabbeinu Shalom. Say it.
Rabbeinu Shalom, another satisfied customer of Hypnosis Communication Incorporated.
John Kitterer is liberating individuals one at a time.
One sentient being at a time, according to the will of the
If I
butter.
tell you the truth, I think that with what he says, and especially with what he does, people are, if you pay attention really to your reactions to his behavior, then you can get much more advanced or much more progress than in therapy, in dozens of therapy sessions.
No, you're just like coming up with an explanation to justify you sitting there and listening to him, which you're really doing. Because there's no point in studying him. He'll just cloud the airwaves. That's why everyone.
I actually think Asa had a really nice and respectful approach.
Yeah, he did. But Migzet, I think you failed to see my function in terms of your function, like in terms of organism environment, and why I said esoterically or why we're aligned, and why your kind of snide, demeaning remarks really kind of show your unincorporated shadow and your lack of self-actualization, and why you're here on the app all the time. Because I see you in a lot of useless discourse rooms listening to all kinds of weird shit. Like, how do you possibly have this much time to give your conscious attention to content here when you call yourself a supposed fucking lawyer? No, BB, I'm talking about Migzed, the Talmud Chacham up here, who amazingly knows everything about the fucking Torah and the Talmud and Jewish everything. But why the fuck are you on Clown House if you're so goddamn fucking well educated?
Sorry to hear that.
Well, if I do know a lot about Torah and Talmud, it is possible that there's some moral precepts and ethical virtues that I am aware of that you are not.
I know, but I got documents that you're not aware of. And so we get to the essence of the truth, which is this is Clown House entertainment, and everyone here has a certain level of clown hypnosis power.
And he's the recording disappears.
Yeah, so has Clubhouse. I always found it weird that people on this app didn't like immediately understand they were being recorded.
But who cares?
Well, in part, I
I mean,
came from
but
a different
then
app where
again,
like the whole
actually,
big
you
was
should
everyone
care
was being
because you know
recorded.
what? That's the problem. You might make a wrong comment, and then let's say, like in 20 years, become like you have some kind of a position.
I think that
and
about
then they'll
everything I
come
say.
And I don't know.
I only
Yeah,
try to
it's
say
wrong.
things that are as much as I can make them universally true. It's a high standard. But I think some people really just lean into having no standards, not even trying to be accurate, persuasive, argumentative, like logical. They just say stuff.
Listen, all communication is hypnosis. I'm in the potato storage industrial complex business. Like Daniel said, I'm filling up the reservoirs of potatoes of a giant potato storage facility reservoir right now. So I got to get back to chucking potatoes in a potato sack and storing potatoes. So thank you so much, everyone, for helping contribute to my potato storage endeavors. And may all your future potato harvesting and potato mining and drilling operations be a success. Thank you all so much, and God bless you, and God bless the potato.
Run out of potato chips really fast.
So I do want to bring up the point about neurolinguistic programming and basically positive talk therapy, and meaning that you can force the positive, like if you had a set of conditions prior to a conversation on this app, and you said, okay, you're only allowed to talk positively or use positive, optimistic communication in this room, you would see how you can kind of force the issue that people are having mood swings on this app, that they're having temper tantrums all the time, microaggressions all the time, nonstop. So I think people use this app as a way to kind of become more aware of that, and hopefully in the real world, it adjusts them and their response. Like I like the saying from JP Morgan when he says, think a lot, write little, say nothing. And, the sword is the pen is the sword. I mean, I have to go write a memo about sexual harassment from my manager who called me a man whore and let my union president know that. I have to write memos and document. So Clownhouse, in many ways, is that perfect gymnasium where you cannot get punched in the nose for engaging in essentially gaslighting to prove to people that they're not in control of their emotions, that their emotions are in control of them, whatever them is. So Raboinoi Shalom.
What was the exact quote?
You are not in control of your emotions are in control of you?
No.
The environment?
Think aloud.
Oh, think a lot, write little, say nothing.
Say nothing.
That's what
Why did they call you a man whore? What
That's
did
a
you
good
do?
quote. I like that one. Think aloud.
No, think a lot, write little,
Think a lot,
say nothing.
write little, say nothing. Think a lot, write little, say nothing. That's good.
Yeah.
Excellent banker.
Yeah, so I have a meeting with a territory manager who is now auditing my timesheet from the past year and claiming that I wasn't in office when I said I was.
You fought the law and the law won.
So think a lot, write little, say nothing. I have to fight fire with fire, and now my manager's going down for calling me a man whore. And these are unintended consequences of what happens when people open their mouths in front of witnesses. So, I mean, be careful what you say. Especially, yeah, she called me a man
Did you
whore.
record her?
No, but there's a witness.
So were you in the office or not?
No, we were at Potbelly's. She was feeding herself. I drove her there. Anyways, my point is, all communication is hypnosis. You need not worry about your future. If they decide to terminate me, at least I have my Clown House recordings. At least I have some proof that I did something with my time. Raboinoi Shalom. So this is part of the hypnosis where we come to a bottoming out situation where do we go from here but up? There's nowhere else to go once you know you've been secretly recorded every time you've ever been on this app and someone's planning on commercially licensing your voice and making money from you. Oops! I mean, that's what Clown House is doing, and you're accusing me of doing it? For God's sakes, I don't know. I'm not a billionaire. I don't run $100 million fucking app. Poor little old me? You want to kill me? Give me a break, Raboino Shaloli. What did I ever do to you but record you? How do I know you didn't record me? This is Surveillance Capital Economy 101, right? Hello?
Yes.
See, this is also one of the reasons why I think people dislike me is because they got sour grapes. That's what's up, because they're like, God damn, he's a lot smarter than I am. He fucking recorded me. I didn't record him. Fuck. See what I'm saying? It's spy versus spy. That's why that video game was so successful. This app is a surveillance app. It is a spy versus spy app. It's a video game. That's how I would describe it in court if I went to a jury. They'd be like, why did you do this? I'd say, I thought it was a video game. It's an app. It's not a video game. I have a lot of video games on my cell phone. Then I'd go full retard, start drooling, pick my butt. Hello?
Anyway, it's just us in the room now. I think that the trial against Edmund Ducking.
Socrates has survived yet another trial. Whew. Listen, I have a quote on my tattoo on my left arm. It says, I am the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. I mean, I do serve nothing burgers at Chicago Cheeseburger. Oh my God, T. Robs is here. Hi, T. Robs. You missed the trial of Edmund Dakin. You could have been.
You missed the trial against Edmund.
You could have been one of the fucking prosecutors, bro. You have a lot to say.
A lot of.
Do you know how with their sentence?
Everybody came together to judge him on his recordings.
To judge him? Wow.
Yeah, we were like 30 people in here.
Amazing.
It was Jewish Clubhouse and also Simon and Hampton and everyone. Everyone was pointing fingers at him.
Amazing.
Yeah. We were in a room actually having a good conversation. Somebody came in, disrupted